Tim's father's advice reminded me of one episode I made by Lao Gao and Xiaomo. They're discussing the Nietzsche's concept of internal recurrence. So it was at that moment that I truly understand that this film and its profound meaning behind the Tim's father's words. Your soul can only be fulfilled its life mission when you change your perspective on the things. Our protagonist, Tim, gained enlightenment through the time travel. Internal recurrence is about altering one's mindset to cherish the only life we have. Beyond the stormy wedding with its striking red dress and pouring rain, this film holds profound philosophical wisdom about life. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Morgan. So today we're discussing the film About Time. It is a film written and directed by the genius Richard Curtis. Typically, time travel is embedded in the sci-fi epic with ground narratives, but this film used the perspective of a British young man to explore our life's most important theme, love and existence. Tim possesses ability to travel back in time. However, even with this ability, he realized he cannot control everything, especially life and death. The entire movie is warm yet profound. You might spend an afternoon watching it, but you want to revisit it with the people that you love for the rest of your life. So let's follow Tim as he learns to accept fate and cherish the present. Tim is a 21-year-old British young man with ruthless ginger hair and zero social skill. On the New Year's Eve, he is too shy to kiss a girl. He lives in with his eccentric family in a seaside house in Cornwall. His father is a retired, refined professor. His mother is a strong, queen-like matriarch. And of course, there's a quirky, free-spirit sister, Kit Kat, who radiates chaotic energy like a purple fairy. And also there is a mentally disoriented yet impeccably dressed and a kind-hearted uncle. After 21 years old, Tim's father revealed his family secret that a man in his family can travel back in time just by clenching their feet in the dark, enclosed spaces. But his father's first lesson is don't use this kind of thing for greed. Time travel used for profit leads only to emptiness. So after that, Tim decided to pursue a very simple goal to find true love. When the Charlotte, a summer guest, arrives, Tim is smitten. He used time travel to confess his feeling repeatedly, but he learns that his first lesson. You can change circumstance maybe, but not someone's heart. And then the Tim moves to London to work in a law firm. Ended up living with this grumpy, cynical playwright Harry. According to him saying, he was abandoned by his wife and he was grown-up daughter beyond his control. He drinks too much and does basically nothing all day. Think his life and love are total scams. So he loved cranking mean jokes about Tim. So can we imagine Tim stuck living with this crew of grumpy bold guys? Absolutely nightmare. Luckily, a few months later, Tim meets Mary, a girl whose awkward charm and vulnerability really captivated him. Their encounter proved love is a blind choice, yet their soul resonate. Tim was flying high after his love at first sight moment, but reality hit hard when he got home. Harry's big comeback play, the one he really poured his soul into, turned into a total wreck because the actor forgot his line. It went viral overnight as London's most awkward theater night. And don't let Harry's constant sarcastic jobs fool you. Deep down, he is soft-hearted idealist fighting his life emptiness with his art. So surely he hid his vulnerability behind this whiskey sarcasm now, but basically I think it's a kind of like default mode for British artists. So the Tim decided to fix Harry's play by time traveling to change the disastrous situation. But then the next day, Tim discovered a flaw in his power. Altering the past erased his first meeting with Mary, and he totally forgot her phone number. Fortunately, he remembered that Mary adores Kate Moss, so a few days later, he tracked her down at Kate Moss' photography exhibit, and their connection reignites. Soulmates cannot be severed. Even if Tim traveled like 10,000 times, his heart still races every time he meets Mary. She radiates warm sincerity and their crazy energy that makes every conversation feel alive. Love's beauty lies not in perfection, but in Tim's clumsy sincerity. And then after kneeling their first perfect meeting, Tim used his power to travel back in time, going forth and back to redoing their first night together and make it really crazy and unforgettable. The song How Long Will I Love You? Its lyrics really reflect the timeless devotion, actually just mirroring Tim's effort to protect his love through the time travel. So one night, Tim bumps into his old crush, Charlotte. Suddenly, it hits him. Mary is one of a kind. So he decided to run home so fast just to propose to her. So this proposal might not be like the grand romantic gesture, but here's the thing, he shows love through action, not cheesy line. And for Mary, she is 100% here for it. She loves the introverted proposal. So this may not be like the Instagram perfect moment, but I think it's just two dorks laughing through the awkward pause and inside jokes. Honestly, if Cupid see this scene, they would throw confetti for these two people. And then a few months later, they get married in the seaside church in Cornwall. Mary is so beautiful in this fairy red dress. This scene reminds me one of my all-time favorite wedding moments. So when Italian tenants El Mondo started playing, the stormy backdrop somehow made everything feel scarce. The lyric practically felt like the divine subtitle written by God himself. And then the director crammed 4 minutes of pure chaos into montage. Collapsing tenants, rolling cupcake, and drenched guests. And then even the guests complaining about it, they got drowned by the rain. But all these kind of moments really becomes a testament to embracing the imperfection. Tim actually wanted to use the time travel to fix everything, but for Mary, she just laughed about it, and she didn't need perfect, just to accept the life messy magic. And it's actually what Tim had been chasing through all his time traveling. So maybe it turns out Mary, who is much wiser in this relationship, had the answer all along. In that moment, the bride in the red became the gentlest kind of a time wizard. After the wedding, life really hit fast forward as the kids came along, turning everything colorful and a little bit of chaotic. Mary stuck by Tim through the daily grind, and their mix of regret and goofiness made Tim realize maybe time travel was not the cheat code for happiness after all. Even Harry, who is sarcastic all along, softened up around their messy, cozy little life. But then Tim's sister Kit Kat's car crash. Kitty's story was slow burn tragedy. Years ago, she stuck into a toxic love relationship, clinging to its loser who gaslighted her into a spiral self-doubt and boozy, so the car crash was rock bottom. So the Tim decided to tell her this secret and drag her back to the New Year's party and so stop her from ever meeting Jimmy. Messing around with the timeline turned his daughter into a son. Turns out even time travel cannot control every disaster. In the end, Tim let Kit Kat face crash. Realized that love is not about fixing people. It's about handing them the tools to fix everything by themselves, even if it hurts. This was Tim's aha moment. Stop playing God with time machine and start trusting life's messy plot twist. Kit Kat's journey is one of the most quietly powerful subplots. The car crash, ironically, became her wake-up call, shocking her out of relying on the other into the reclaiming her own strengths. When Tim first dragged her back to the New Year's Eve party to erase the abusive ex, actually he did prevent the crash maybe afterwards, but not to the root issue. Without the pain experience, Kit Kat may never truly learn the value of herself. Sure, he can dog her this disaster, but who can say she would not walk into another toxic relationship afterwards? So now instead of running, she is facing the mess herself. So the Kit Kat finally can see real healing is not about time travel band-aid or waiting for someone to rescue. It's about finding the courage to walk away from what harms you, even if it leaves scars, and rewriting your own story one honest choice at a time. Life rolled on for Tim until the gut punch news. His dad had cancer. No warning sign, just cosmic whiplash. But this old man seemed ready. He chose to let death come naturally, refusing to tweak the timeline by going back to quit smoking. This action probably would erase his kids. No fear, no struggle, just chill acceptance. Actually, in his 50-odd years, he already had cracked the code. Life's wholeness, including its end. Fighting death would have cheapened all the joy he had gathered. Through that, the film dropped the most important message. Life is not a triumph to win. It's a mud pile that you make along the way. Birth, chaos, goodbye. They all the chapters in the same wild storybook. The old man's zen-like chill whisper embraced a plot twist. His calm exit is not defeat, it's actually a mic drop on the living folly. After all, erasing his cancer would have meant erasing Sunday roast, dad's joke, and the kids he loved. This became Tim's toughest lesson, letting his sister stumble through her mess and letting the beloved father go. His dad, having lived purposely in the borrowed time, finally dropped the secret formula for happiness, the real mother shit as they call it. Just get on the ordinary day just like everybody else and use time travel to relive every day again, almost exactly the same. But the second time, try to noticing how sweet the world can be. The ordinary moments are more precious than chasing perfection in the first time. After rewinding time, Tim learned that cherish life the small, everyday joys, just like adding a dash of British humor to lighten up a room. Actually, this film flipped typical time travel trope. Instead of thrill sneaking chaos, it served like Zen-like letting go with a side of Taoist Wu Wei, which is mean effortless action. Time travel is not about fixing things, it's about seeing things in a different perspective. The real mothership is time travel is not the answer, acceptance is. Tim finally gets it. Life's magic is not about avoiding storm, but dancing barefoot in the rain. Happiness cannot be bought with cash or superpower. No time machine needed, just wide and open eyes for ordinary miracles. The morning sunshine, kids giggle, raining walk. The stuff glows with quiet magic when you finally look. At the end of his father's journey, no dramatic funeral scenes here. All the family members honor his father's memory through quiet, private moments, and it's all handled with a subtle grace and a poetic tenderness. After Tim's dad passed away, Mary talks about having a third kid, and her reason for wanting another baby was kind of adorable, really. If one kid is super smart and the other one is kind of like a goofball, they will fight non-stop, but the third kid showed up might balance things out. But this decision really hit Tim hard because time travel core rule is if you mess up with a key moment in the past, it can literally erase or replace the existing children. So imagine if they had third baby, Tim couldn't risk traveling back to any moment before the pregnancy. That means no more visit to his beloved dad. This irreversible risk really tore him apart. But after some soul-crushing thinking, he accepts the irreversible loss, choosing to embrace the present. It is the kind of thing that his dad always wanted him to comprehend. Right before the third child was born, Tim made one last trip to see his dad. His father, who is so wise, instantly knew what happened. They quietly traveled back to Tim's childhood together, carefully not to change everything big. Then in the end, Tim and his father share a bittersweet farewell on the beach, a silent, tender goodbye, just chasing each other on the beach, skipping stones, just locking this beautiful memory in a time capsule. Here, time travel was not about fighting death, it just became a way to keep love alive. Death was not a loss, just the final chapter of legacy. Tim's father had the same power, but he never abused it for the fame or for money. His favorite thing is just reading Dickens-era books, playing ping pong with his son, probably just had a lazy afternoon in a Cornwall seaside. To him, happiness high in a teeny moment, not grand adventure. He taught him bit by bit that time travel was not a superpower, it was actually about mindset. Even knowing cancer would take him, he refused to rewrite his fate. A new baby meant letting go of his own life, but he chose family over survival. Quiet sacrifice, unshakable love, this old man guided his family like a silent hero. That final trip to Childhood Beach is one of the most heart-melting scenes, and British grandpa saying goodbye in his own special way. No regrets, just warmth. So the ending show Tim's life is honestly the smartest part about this movie. It secretly tears down the whole time travel fantasy. The real freedom hits Tim only when he stopped using his superpower to travel back in time. The time-bending ability is actually a mirror showing how we understand ourselves. Time traveler never really changes the past, but they change how they see the present. And now, he and his wife Mary live every day like it's their first time, soaking up the sunshine, just giving their kids a warm hug. The universal real magic is not about space-time tricks. It's how life created by something divine, by spirit guide, makes every moment worth savoring, even as time flows forward. The director Curtis actually just rejects using time travel to personal gain here. He's fighting against the hustling culture, healing our anxiety, and sharing his chill, step-back philosophy through this beautiful memory storytelling. This all seems just kind of like Nietzsche's internal recurrence in the book does speak Zarathustra. Reliving life infinitely until you learn to love it, even if becoming your best self means embrace both joy and the pain. The real superpower in this film is not about time travel. It's actually about choosing to accept life's challenge and live fully in the present. Actually, this mindset is crazy hard to master, I know, even harder to keep doing. But I think once you guys are watching and get the light bulb moment, you will unlock the whole new way to experience life. So this is all my take on this film about time. So drop your favorite moments in the comment section below, hit the like and chat away. So new friends, don't forget to subscribe my channel. If you like, you can check out my other movie breakdown in the playlist too. So I will see you in my next time. Bye bye.